Hello, this is Shaun Insane in the Game, and welcome to my thoughts on Fallout 76. So, the dust has settled a little, and it has been a few weeks since E3, and Fallout 76 dropping on the horizon. This has taken most people by surprise, but I've spent all this time since E3 reading every article and watching every interview, and even keeping up to date with all the Fallout YouTubers with their thoughts, and decided now is a good time to talk about Fallout 76. I always knew I wanted to make a video talking about whatever Bethesda game studios release next, because they have always been such a big part of my gaming life. If it's Fallout, The Elder Scrolls, or even Elder Scrolls Online, I've put literally thousands of hours into these games, and I love each of them in their own special ways. In the build up to E3, I was not expecting another Fallout game to come out so soon after Fallout 4, and it just seemed to come out of thin air. As Fallout is my favourite gaming series, it made E3 even more special to me. But like so many other people, I did not want to get my hopes up for Fallout 5. This is not Fallout 5. When Fallout Shelter was released in 2015, it did show me that Bethesda were looking at different ways to use the Fallout franchise. I was a little bit concerned that this would mean an all-out MMO, the same ilk as The Elder Scrolls. The Elder Scrolls do lend themselves a little bit more to the MMO world, and I have enjoyed the hundreds of hours I've stuck into that game. For me, Fallout is not the kind of place you want to stick an MMO, so I was always worried, and as soon as the rumours started flying about that this was an online game, I was starting to fear the worst. I was really hoping for something a little bit in between, not an all-out MMO. By then I also knew that wasn't going to be an all-out single player. If it was a multiplayer or had online elements, I would settle for that, just for another chance to explore another world in the wastelands. Then E3 arrived, and all the Todd the God interviews afterwards, we started to get a good sense, or at least a better understanding of how 76 will play, and I'm even more excited than I thought possible. I believe this could be a great game, or at the very least a good game. And now it's time for me just to talk a little bit about the game and why I believe it's not quite as bad as some people first thought. Something that a lot of people are talking about is the beta for this. We're not used to Bethesda games getting a beta. It is a good way to iron out some of the bugs that seem to make it through to the finished product. But then again, the bugs in Bethesda games do go a long way to adding just a little bit of the charm and the longevity of the game. People enjoy bugs, just not completely bugged out games. I'm looking at you, Fallout New Vegas. The beta will obviously be sometime before November the 14th. No point having the beta afterwards. At that point, it's far too late. But still, at the point of me recording this, the dates have not been set, but we should know closer to the time. One thing we do know, though, is that Xbox One will get the beta exclusive, and it will be coming out on there first. So for PC players like myself and PS4 players, we will have to wait before we can get our hands even on the beta. I was planning, if allowed, I'm still not sure if I am, of showing the beta and doing videos to show what the game is like. But now this has put me in a bit of a dilemma. Do I also buy the game on the Xbox, because I have already pre-ordered the Power Armor edition for the PC? If I do order it for the Xbox, it means I will get access to the beta, but as some of you may already know, and the rest of you will know now, my Elgato capture device went Pete-Tong a couple of weeks ago, and that is why I've had to draw my Alien Isolation playthrough to a bit of an early finish. If I was to plan on doing the Xbox beta and buying the game early, I would also have to sort out the Elgato, and at the moment, financially, just not able to do that. So I think I'm going to have to wait until the beta comes out on the PC and just settle for that. But as some of you may have already guessed, when Fallout 76 is released, it will be my new series on my channel, and my channel will focus mainly on doing Fallout 76 material. Okay, now to the stuff that we do know. Yes, this game is online. Yes, it does have a lot of PvP elements, but on a map 4 times the size of the Fallout 4 map, and with only 24 to 32, still not 100% sure, players on the map, do you really believe that you're going to be swamped under by players all the time? If you wanted to play this game solo and go exploring on your own, you could go all day and never see another person. And when you do finally come across another person, there is that moment when you both look at one another and you're both trying to work out what is the other one's intentions. It adds a little bit of tension in the situation, something that you probably can't get from a single player game. When you come across someone, is he going to shoot you? Does he want to trade? How do you communicate to him that you're not going to blow his head off when he turns his back on you? The fact that there's only going to be 22 to 32 people on the map at any time You're not going to be coming across someone all the time, so when you do, it's going to make it just a little bit more special in my opinion. I believe there'll be a lot of people who want to roleplay in this game. Not everybody is going to be out just to kill absolutely everything and everyone that moves. And with 63 different kinds of creatures to kill, there'll be plenty of other things to go out and kill and not just other players. But if you do miss the gunfights that you would normally have with raiders in other games, then don't fare, because Bethesda have stuck in a race of ghouls that aren't quite as mindless as feral ghouls, and not quite as friendly as normal NPC ghouls. This new faction is called the Scorched, and they're ghouls that are somewhere in between feral and normal friendly ghouls. These guys can use weapons like guns, and believe me, they'll be using them on you. Do you like VATS? Everybody likes VATS. Well, don't fare, VATS is back, but slightly different because time cannot be slowed down every time a player uses VATS. I would get a little bit peeved at that if every time I was lining up a shot, someone activated VATS, time slowed down, time to make a coffee. It will be interesting how VATS works, but according to Todd Howard, it is meant to help players, a bit like me, who are probably not quite as good at Twitch shooters as some other people out there in the Bethesda universe. Okay, I've got to mention the game world. And this is where Fallout 76 will win a lot of people over. It is big and it is beautiful and contains so many different environments. The Bethesda modding community has spent years making Fallout 3, Fallout 4 and all the Elder Scrolls titles look better, look greener and look more alive. Bethesda has noticed this and given people the green that they want, but still keeping the same Fallout feel in my opinion. We have seen very little of the leveling system in Fallout 76, but there is a fantastic documentary by the YouTubers of Noclip. The making of the Fallout 76 documentary is an absolute must-watch for any fans of the Fallout franchise. And in this documentary it does show what appears to be a good and adaptable leveling system. A link to this absolute fantastic documentary will be in the description below, and I want everybody to go and watch it. This has won a lot of people over. So I would advise people who are still on the fence about 76 to watch this documentary. Bethesda knew what they were doing when they allowed the Noclip team to spend all this time with them and to make this documentary. I believe that this should have actually been their E3 showcase for the game. It's that good, and so much better than what they probably did do at the E3 and answered so many more questions. And in answering so many questions, it has eased the slightly negative views about an online Fallout, and after spending days on Reddit and other forums, I feel the documentary has even turned a lot of people's opinions around on the game, and it's now a fairly positive, if slightly apprehensive, feel to Fallout 76. The Bethesda community are very passionate about their games, and a slight change can worry people. I was worried, then I waited, and then I watched. And now taking everything I've heard, I'm feeling slightly more positive about the game. It can be a great game, and I really hope it is. But in the end, it will not matter. I will buy the game, I will play the game to death, until everybody else is sick of hearing about Fallout 76. If there is any interest whatsoever, I will be doing an unboxing of the Power Armor Edition for the PC when it turns up on November the 14th. Hang on a minute, I wonder. Would anyone want to watch me stream while I'm wearing my Power Armor helmet and wearing my Pip-Boy? Thank you for listening to my mad ramblings, and I hope to see you in West Virginia when I start my Fallout 76 playthrough and the beta. Please leave a like if you did and subscribe to hear more news on Fallout 76. Please comment below or on Facebook or Twitter with all the links in the description. I'm Shaun, Insane in the Game, and I'll see you all in the safe zone.